Basic good manners. They say manners maketh man. Good manners are treating other people the way you'd like to be treated yourself. Kindly, with respect and with consideration. So when you first meet someone, maybe you know them from a past, but you're going to meet them again. You approach them, you hold your hand out, and you shake their hand and say, "Hi, John, how are you?" And they'll say, "Hi, Mike, how are you?" And you will always say, "Yeah, I'm good, thank you." Don't start saying, "Oh, my back is bad, my head's bad, this is wrong, that's wrong, the whole world is wrong." Just say, "Yeah, I'm fine, thank you." And if a chance comes up later and you want to say, "Well, actually, I've got problems," then's the time to talk about it, not when you first meet someone. When you first meet them as well, keep your hand vertical. Don't hold it this way or this way. Don't hold too hard or too soft. Just a nice firm 1, 2, 3, and then let go. If you've not met them before, we shake hands and we give your name. First and last name. We use the first name twice. Thus, this is the best way so people can remember. "Hi, I'm Mike Leahy. Nice to meet you." If you've got a difficult name, say it a couple of times more. And when they give their name to you, if you don't understand, ask them to repeat it. And if it's a problem, ask them to spell it. It's far better to go through that at the early stage than throughout the conversation you think, "Oh my God, what is their name?" And when you're talking to someone, use their name, not on every sentence, not the beginning and end of every sentence, but just throw it in occasionally. "It's good to meet you, John. Blah, 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 blah." Then another time you might say, "It's very cold today, John, isn't it?" But don't use it all the time because it gets boring and it's not good. When you shake someone's hand, look at them in the eye, but only for 3 or 4 seconds. Don't stare them out because a lot of people find this very embarrassing. So use eye contact, and when you're having a conversation with them, after you've met them, make eye contact, but look away and look down and look back. So it looks like maintaining eye contact, but in fact you're breaking that up by looking away. If you stare at someone, a lot of people will get embarrassed. Now when you're talking to someone, maybe there's just the two of you, let them speak. Don't interrupt. The worst thing is someone starts saying, "I remember when I was in London," and the other person says, "Oh, I was in London last week." And they butt in and they just know what's coming, or they interrupt, and it just spoils the flow of the conversation. So always listen, wait for the person to finish speaking, and then have your say. And be interested in what they're saying. The worst thing you can do is when you're talking to someone, grab your phone and start texting or look at the messages. It's so rude. Just put your phone in your pocket. You can do without it for a few seconds, a few minutes, half an hour. Put it on silent. Put it in your pocket, out of the way, so you're not tempted to look at it. So you're talking, you're not interrupting, you're listening, and then if you listen and are really interested in them, you can then ask questions. And you know, the best conversationists are not people who talk, but people who listen. You listen to what people say about others, and sometimes they'll say, "Oh, I like talking to so-and-so, he's really good to talk to." But in fact, the guy they're talking about, just ask questions about the person. "How are you? What are you doing? How's the job going? How's the family? Have you been to so-and-so? What do you think of such and such?" And use the 5 wise questions that start with why, what, when, who, where, and why. If you ask those questions, they can't just answer yes or no. So you can get more involved. So you're talking, you're not interrupting, you're listening, you're asking questions. And only say good things about other people. It's really bad manners to start bad-mouthing other people. And what happens is if you bad-mouth someone, the person you're talking to will think, "I've got to watch this guy, he's going to bad-mouth me when I'm not here." So you're talking and there's 2 of you and someone else joins the crowd. You know them, so what do? You introduce them to each other. "Hey, Bill, this is John. John, Bill, and they'll shake hands. Now they know each other's names, they become familiar, they're part of the group. Now you're in that group and you're talking as a threesome. Don't turn your back on any of them. Keep the circle so everyone is looking inwards. And if you see someone else across the room, don't suddenly say, I'll be back, and dash off and see them. Say, oh, can you excuse me a minute? I must have a word with so-and-so. I'll be right back. If I don't talk now, I'll miss him. Or just acknowledge them and say, I'll talk to you in a minute. And then carry on with the conversation. You'll find other people join the group. And bring them into the conversation. Don't let them stand on the outside. I've been to meetings with business people and you're talking in the 3 or 4 and then someone else joins and they're left out in the cold. It's really bad manners. So that is really what I want to talk to you about. The manners of meeting someone and talking to them in a conversation. If you do this, you'll find you've suddenly got more friends, more people interested in you. This is how to really make friends and influence people. Asking questions, be interested in them, listening, paying attention.